Hello students, welcome to the next lecture series of Basic Electrical Engineering. Today we are going to start the module 4. In the module 4 we have DC generators and DC motors. So in the case of the electrical machines, what are the types of electrical machines we have? So first we have DC machines and we have AC machines. So in the case of the DC machines also, what you are going to study in your syllabus, DC generator and DC motor. In the case of the AC machines also, we have AC generator and AC motors. But in your syllabus, you are going to study what are the transformers. You have already studied in third module, and alternator. Next is induction motor. These are the three machines which you are going to study in your syllabus. Let us understand what is the meaning of the generator and what is the meaning of the motor. So generator is a device which is converting the mechanical energy into electrical energy. So nowadays we are using this generators in cinema halls. So shopping malls we are using this generators. Coming to the motors, electrical energy is, so the electrical energy as the input and it is giving the mechanical energy. In the houses we are using, and for farming purpose we are using the motors. So what is the mechanical energy it is doing? In the houses, lifting of water. So it is lifting of water is doing by the motor. That is the mechanical energy it is doing in the case of the farming also. So which is present in the ground levels. Now understand what is the basics required for the understanding of principle of generators or motor, whether it may be AC or DC is required. So generators or motors will work on the principle of Faraday's laws. So Faraday has proposed two laws here. So when a conductor cuts the magnetic field, an EMF is induced in it. So when a conductor cuts a magnetic field, EMF is induced in it. Second statement, he is saying that the magnitude of that induced EMF is directly proportional to rate of change of flux linkages. So the rate of change of flux linkages, so the directly proportional to rate of change of flux linkages. Flux linkages normally will represent with psi. So if you write that statements in mathematical form, so E is directly proportional to d psi by dt, and induced EMF is, we can write as psi, we can write as n into phi, where n into phi. So if you substitute here n into d phi by dt, where n is the number of turns of conductor and phi is the flux linking with the conductors, and minus sign is due to Lenz's law. So minus sign is due to Lenz's law we are taking. So if you write the mathematical form, we are going to get the equation of induced EMF will be like this. Coming to the EMFs, so we have two types of EMFs will be there. One is statically induced EMF, another is the dynamically induced EMF. So what is the difference between this statically induced EMF and dynamically induced EMF? So if you observe in the case of the statically induced EMF, so if you observe the example for the statically induced EMF is transformer. Transformer we have a magnetic core, one magnetic core and conductors, that is the number of turns on primary side and secondary side. So there if you observe, the field was time varying but conductors are stationary. This is the, we can say it as statically induced EMF. But in the case of the dynamically induced EMF is saying that, so generator or motor, whether it may be AC or DC, examples for that, field is stationary here, field is stationary, conductors are rotating. So conductors are rotating. So this is called as the dynamically induced EMF. So just I have shown here how the transformer is there. So a core will be there here, transformer core, and we have the primary winding. Okay, primary side we have primary winding, and here we have secondary side winding, and secondary side we have the load, and primary side we will get a supply here. This is in the case of the transformer. If you observe in the case of the transformer, so core is producing the time varying flux. Time varying flux, it is produced linking with the secondary winding also. Linking with the secondary winding also. So in the case of the dynamically induced EMF, here the north pole is placed and the south pole is placed. The flux lines are traveling from north pole to south pole, and the conductors are placed here in between north pole and south pole. They started, so if the conductors are started rotating, so there is a cutting action is taking place. So these are the essential parts which are required for the production of dynamically induced EMF. One is the field is required, so the field will be produced by this magnetic field, and the conductors are we are already placed here, and the cutting action is taking place due to rotation of these conductors. So these are the essential, so which is required for the production of dynamically induced EMF. Let us understand some more basics which are required for the understanding of working principle of DC generator or DC motor. So we, in the first statement it is given the EMF is produced in the conductors. So how to find the direction of that induced EMF, which was proposed by Fleming's right hand rule and Fleming's left hand rule. You are already studied in the lower classes. Fleming's right hand rule we will use for generators, Fleming's left hand rule for the we will use for motors. So Fleming's right hand rule, if you see, so thumb is indicating the force and the direction of rotation, and the middle finger is indicating the direction of current or EMF. So forefinger is indicating always the flux lines. Forefinger is indicating the flux lines, and middle finger is indicating the direction of current and EMF. The thumb is indicating either force or the direction of rotation of the conductors. So this, with this basics, we can understand what is the meaning of the generator and what is the meaning of the motor. The basic difference we can understand. If you are seeing the first time this channel, please like, share and subscribe the channel to your friends also. I already completed the module 1, 2 and 3. So now I am dealing with the fourth module, and I added the videos of previous papers, questions, solutions only for problem. Theoretical you can study in the videos. For problem I made a videos on, so especially solutions of previous papers, so which is very useful for your external exam. Thank you very much.